Hello and welcome to ESO Creators number 4. So today I'll be visiting Spell-Slinger on the NA server. Okay. Alright, so hello Spell-Slinger.
Hello?
How long have you been playing ESO for?
That's actually a rather difficult question. I first started playing ESO as early as the beta, but then I just didn't stick for it very long once the game came out. I think I just played it for a couple of months and then I quit, and then I came back again with one Tamriel, I think. And I've been playing ever since, with some minor interruptions here and there.
Very nice. And aside from housing, what else do you do in the game?
I'm primarily a role player, a
Yeah.
bit of a nerd there. The first Elder Scrolls game I played was Oblivion, and then I played Morrowind and Skyrim. People are
Yeah.
probably going to come after me for this one, didn't care much for Skyrim, but I loved the other two, especially Morrowind. And you will probably see that a lot in these builds.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so this is Moon Sugar Meadow.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a second ago, what is this at your entrance that makes it so black?
This is an item called Boulder, Cold Harbor Shard. And if you turn that upside down, or on its side, but with the downside facing us, then it's really, really black. And
Yeah.
the only time you can really tell that it's not pitch black is if you shine a light directly at it. Then the illusion breaks. But that aside, it's really black.
Yeah, it's amazing. Very cool. So what's your theme to this house in particular?
This theme in particular is a Dunmer plantation.
Very nice.
And you enter through. So when I built this house, I basically built the plantation first, and then I had a number of slots to spare, and I just looked at the bridge that's here originally, and I just looked at it and felt, well, this looks very Khajiit. We don't want that, so I'm just going to build this thing.
Yeah, I love all the mushrooms.
For all of you Dunmer lore nerds out there, or Morrowind nerds, you might recognize the word Foyada, which is Dunmer is for Fire River, and it's basically, like, the idea is a volcanic eruption happens, the lava runs through the cliffs, through the mountain, and creates this sort of thing, and that's why the Dunmer have a specific term for it, because they use these Foyadas for roads, primarily.
That is so cool. That's really well thought out. Amazing. This looks really cool as well from here.
So yeah, I felt like I needed to do something with the entrance, but then you start walking towards the plantation itself. You can just run here, honestly, there's not much to see.
Okay. I love all of the mushrooms out here.
So I figure I might just let you explore a little bit, and I will be happy to explain all the things.
Wonderful. Do you know what it reminds me of? Lake of Maya. It kind of looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very heavily inspired by the sort of plantations that you would see in Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And Lake Amaya is obviously based on that.
Yeah, it looks great.
But when I planned this out, I actually looked at maps from Elder Scrolls 3 and the Dren plantation and such, and sort of tried to figure out what kind of buildings did that place have, and I tried to include those myself.
This door looks incredible.
I'm so happy that I discovered the use of this door. It was pure luck. I was just, I had built the whole place. I think the doors is actually what I made last, and they just looked so ugly and boring, and I didn't know what to do with it. And then, purely by chance, I discovered that the Ayleid benches are actually exactly the same thickness as the walls. So,
yeah. It looks amazing.
Yeah, you see the one at the top. That's like what the entire item looks like, except upside down.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's not upside down. It's actually right turned. Anyways, yes.
Even these like little bits that stick out, they just look like part of the door. It looks great.
Yeah, they do. That's what pleased me the most. That was the happy surprise there. Because, I mean, I would have been pretty happy if it hadn't looked like the top part, but these ended up just segmenting really well. So
Yeah, it looks very good.
I would love to say that I planned that all along, but not really.
Ah, a happy accident.
Yes.
I love the chimney here as well. That looks great.
Yeah. This is primarily the sort of OOC crafting area, or this entire house is sort of the guild hall for my role-playing guild.
Ah,
So here they can
nice.
come and craft, and also because probably the plantation needs a place to repair equipment and such
Mm.
tools.
Yeah, it's very cool. How many items have you used in this house? Used them all?
I currently am sitting on 691, so I have 9 more to spare. And
Yeah.
as a role player, again, that's pretty useful because on occasion you need to just throw something down at random that you didn't expect because
Yeah.
something happens. Like, for instance, you might notice there are a few heads on spikes over there.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is really cool. Is this like, trying to think of the word, the gallows of some
Yeah,
sort? Yeah.
yeah. And here's a see if I can line myself up properly. Almost.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah, we tend to use these. We are lovely people in real life, I promise, but our characters are absolute dipshits. Terrible people.
Oh, that's so cool. Mm. Yeah, I love that. That's great.
I think that's one of the funniest things about being both a decorator and a role player is you can do these little changes, like those 2
Yeah.
spikes. I know exactly who they are. They were
Callum.
players in my guild until their heads were on spikes.
Callum was saying last time actually that it helped him a lot with making his houses being a role player.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
I love the guava farm. It's very cute.
Guara are just adorable.
They are. They're very cute. Oh, this is so cool. It looks like Callum the other day. This also just looks like it could be in the game. I think it looks like part of the actual game in a way.
Well, I'm very glad you think so.
Definitely.
Anyways, let's just very quickly look at the worst part of this place, I imagine.
Okay.
It's just sort of I wanted a dock because there's water here, and because I took the trouble of getting that stupid boat.
Wow, you got the boat. That's amazing.
Yeah, but this is again mostly just space that we don't use all that much, but it exists, and the players need to know that it exists. So this is the storage house where goods going in and out, sort of the boat storage house. So things that come in by boat, they go into the storage here, and things
Yeah.
going out, like crops and such, also go in here.
Very nice.
So that's the plan behind it. But it's and also obviously we hide our bankers here just because it's convenient.
Yeah. That's cool.
We tend to refer to him as the quartermaster. So whenever players are like, you need to go to the quartermaster to get outfitted, what we actually mean is please go away for a while and come back once you have the stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I love that boat. It's so pretty.
Here we have a little dueling arena for the guards where they can train and work out.
Very nice.
And some shields, some swords. I'd like to imagine they're blunt swords
Ah,
so that they don't kill each other.
I like the way you've done your sword like that. That looks great. That's the luxury vendor light, isn't it?
Yes. Craglawn thing. And I must say, I am extra happy about the fact that they are so far into the shroom that you can't actually activate them, because people do that, and they don't look so good when they're on fire.
Yeah, that is wonderful. Very cool.
Little well, obviously, so you can sit and watch the whippings and just have a nice time. Training dummies. Yeah,
Oh,
I
those are
noticed
cute.
last time you had some training dummies as well, and I looked at those and I was like, yes, they
Oh,
also
yeah.
look good.
Yeah, yours are done differently.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
slightly.
cool.
It's the same idea. I mean, you can only do dummies in so many ways, I imagine.
Yeah, very nice. I
Oh,
just, I,
I felt like his actually looked sort of more brutish and something you would want to hit. These look so cuddly. I just want to hug them.
they are quite cute. I like their heads.
Yeah, it's the heads.
They almost look like they've got a face.
Yeah. Well, you
They're
know,
cute.
it trains the killer instinct. If you can
Yeah.
hit that, you can hit anything. Here's my infirmary and also guard quarters, sort of mixed purpose.
Ah, it's nice. I like this. Wow, how did you do this trapdoor?
So it's actually 3 items, if I recall correctly. It's a common crate, it's
Hmm.
a bucket, one of the simple buckets, and it's also what the hang on, I just need to remember what it's called. It's a Daedric chest, anyway. Yes, a
Ah,
Daedric chest.
that looks really great. I love that.
And for the sake of the role players, if you have essential housing tools, you can actually step on it and it will automatically port you to another instance.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
But we don't have time to watch that one. It's a pretty small Kragan home. It's an armory down there.
Oh, that is so cool.
But yeah, here we have a nice little infirmary.
Aw. I don't think I've ever seen somebody make like anything like this, like an infirmary or a hospital of any sort. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have done better if I had more slots, but it's always the fight against the slots.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Maybe
also,
one day.
the distinct lack of armor in this game that bothers me. But at least we have
Yeah,
that thing from what is that? It's one of the arenas. What's it called? Dragonstar Arena. That's the one.
Dragon's Eye, yeah.
Yeah. So you can have that.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a shame we don't have more weapons and armor because it's like a game where we go and fight, so it's a bit strange.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You'd think we want a couple of things in our house.
Yeah. I just love the way you've made these buildings. They're like really simple, but they really fit in really so nicely.
Yeah. Let's see. Thinking we might save the house for last.
Okay.
Just gonna let that sit there and tease us. Yes.
Definitely, I can't wait to see inside there.
So here's what I like to call the Sacred Grove. Here is where our poor little slaves get to sit here, nice and pious, while a dark elf sermonizes and teaches them how they are a lesser race and all of that lovely, horrible racism that is written into Dunmerlore. I know some people are actually genuinely OSC bothered by that kind of stuff, and
Oh,
I mean,
really? What, by the,
yeah,
what, even though
yeah,
it's in the game?
I mean, some people are genuinely sort of bothered by the real life sort of similarities, racism,
Oh,
and
right,
they
yeah.
it's the sort of people who don't quite separate storytelling from the person, which is unfortunate. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, in my opinion, all stories are made by terrible, terrible things.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
more horrible.
definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I agree. You need to separate the game from reality.
Yeah. And this one was particularly. I don't know if you've watched the movie 12 Years a Slave.
Um, Yeah, I have watched it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of scenes in that one where you have these sort of perversions of the Bible that they keep spouting to the slaves, and it sort of adds this extra layer of horrible how they take something that's meant to be nice and beautiful and just pervert it to justify the horrible things that they do.
Yeah.
And I find that strangely fascinating. Horrible, yes, but fascinating.
Yeah. Your moon sugar farm.
Yes, I would like to prefer it being called actual just regular sugarcane because we are
Ah,
legal dumber here. We
okay.
don't do anything illegal.
Okay, so it's not moon
Yet.
sugar, it's just regular.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can see the benefits of, again, slots.
Yeah, definitely.
They look good and they don't take up super lots of space. And, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe one day we'll get more slots. You never know.
One day. One day.
Ah, this is cute.
Yes.
What is this? Is this like the slaves area?
Yes.
I really like this. It's so cute. It reminds me of something, but I can't think what it is. I think it's something from a film as well.
Maybe.
It looks really good. What did you use for these walls here?
These are actually the Hlalu sheds that you get from... which one is it? I think it's Old Velothi that has the closed shed. Or it might be like Lake Amaya. Anyways, it's one of those, and it's turned upside down and combined with an Argonian canopy on the top.
That looks really great.
It's unfortunately you have to do it against a wall or against something because they don't quite fit together. The Argonian canopy is a bit too big.
I love it. It looks great. I was just staring at this for a while thinking, what have you done to make this? Yeah, it's wonderful. Never thought to turn that upside down.
Well, it's what you do. You twist things and turn things, and most of the time it's garbage, and sometimes it actually works. My players hate these houses, though.
Really?
Yeah, the primary reason is because the slaves generally, when they hang out, they naturally want to sit down on their beds, and the camera doesn't like it when you do that. So they're not overly popular. I mean, people like them, but at the same time, yeah, it's sort of a double-edged.
Yeah.
Sword.
I can imagine because they're quite small, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another example of just well-play moving on. The little moppet in there.
Yeah,
which
that's
was
so cute.
a present from the lord of the house to one of the slaves that he particularly liked.
Very nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's less nice when you consider he enslaved a child, but...
Oh, yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Lovely person, as I said. Ah, yes, more moving story. The overseer of the plantation went on a slave hunt, and one of the slaves was very dangerous and killed her guar. So what do you do when you lose your guar mount? Well, obviously you buy yourself a Kaguti instead for next time.
Ah.
And the Kaguti can't live with the other guars, so therefore she just put it in the storage shed for the time being, which has the added benefit that nowadays the slaves can't steal anything from the storage shed because there's a big-ass Kaguti in there.
Aw. That's very cool. She's kind of cute.
I know. I just find... I don't know what it is. I mean, by all rights, this creature should be horrifying, but it's just... I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm just
there's
completely mad.
something kind of cute about her.
Yeah. The same thing about the Nick sounds. They're just adorable.
Yeah. This is very cool, I just have to say.
Yes. And this is the path to the dungeons, actually. And we will go down to the dungeons because that is house number 2.
Oh, very nice.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Please go into the main building. And you just let me know what you think.
Wow, this is amazing. Is this a tavern of some sort?
This is the main hall. So,
Okay. I just saw
sort
all
of.
the wine.
I mean, the Lord may or may not be an alcoholic. Uh, no, but I mean, obviously he needs wine because he's a lord, and that's required in any fancy house. It also serves to sort of divide the kitchen from the hall a little bit.
Mm. I love it. I love the shape of this room as well. Like, it's not completely square, like you've got the rounded. It just looks great.
Yeah. It presents sort of unique challenges when you're creating something for, everyday roleplay and not for a specific storyline.
Mm.
Because you sort of want to gather people in one place as much as possible so that they actually interact with each other.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would probably have divided the kitchen a little bit more, but this way they can almost always see each other. So you can have the Lord sitting at his table over here and shouting for Sujama or Flynn or whatever horrible things that the Dunmer drink, and the slaves working over there. And if there are guests, you can just instantly tell them to wait for your turn in the line, and they can just sit down over here in the meantime.
Ah, cool. This entire room is just incredible. I love it, just like the shape of it and everything. The sink is amazing. What have you used for your cupboard at the top?
Those are 3 orcish cabinets, branded.
Oh, okay. I was looking at it thinking it was that. No, yeah, sorry, I'm just being stupid.
That's alright.
Yeah, it looks amazing. This looks great with the provisioning station in there, because it looks kind of like those coals, but a far cheaper version, I suppose.
Yeah,
It's
and you
great.
also get the grate to place things on.
Yeah. What have you used to build your fireplace?
It's a little bit of a mishmash, as you can probably tell. So, as you said, it's the Elsewhere Grill, the provisioning station.
Mm,
It's also the Elsewhere sarcophagus for the bottom of it, a couple
yeah.
of Elsewhere posts on either side, and then just a regular short masonry Elsewhere wall.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I always think sometimes the simple things look just amazing. You don't have to use a million things.
Yeah, and especially this sort of functional fireplace doesn't really want to draw too much attention. It sort of just wants to sit there and work and make everyone's food.
Yeah. This is so nice. I love this room.
Wondering if you're noticing something odd about the cleaver, though.
Oh, with the chain on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We may or may not have had an incident.
Why does it have a chain on it?
Because once one of the slaves stole a knife and tried to kill someone with it.
Oh, okay. So now they chain them to
Yes.
the wall.
So if you want to chop something up, you will stand right here and
I
you will not
understand
take it
that.
anywhere.
Yeah, that's great. Ah, that is a cool idea. This is great. The details are amazing. I like the bucket of guts or something underneath.
Yeah. Which is exactly what it is. I think I just fitted one of those Merkmeyer yucky dishes into a bucket.
Yeah,
And
that's such a cool idea. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, this is such a beautiful room. And the door looks great too.
yes.
I like the handle.
It leads to the guest quarters in character. Because, in a roleplay building, having beds is a big waste of time, generally speaking, because when people go to bed, they log off and don't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's much better to just have them walk through an imaginary door and leave.
Mm. Yeah, I can imagine.
The door handle is the Alinor Amphora embossed.
It's very nice. So if you can hear some funny noises, it's my dog. Just ignore it.
Ah, he wants to join in the fun.
And I think she can hear me talking to somebody, and she's kind of half asleep, but she keeps groaning.
Oh,
Oh, this whole room is just absolutely beautiful. It really is. I love it so much. I think it's the shape of it. I don't know. That just makes it look incredible.
one of my favorite things is it doesn't feel small.
No, it doesn't.
And it is. It is very small compared to most houses in Elder Scrolls Online. It's actually very small. The
Mm.
moment that you actually, like, when I started furnishing this, and was about to put banners on the wall, I noticed that almost all of them were too big. And
Oh.
that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look much bigger than it is then, I guess.
Yeah.
I think as well, most people make square rooms, but yours are not. Yours room is not square. It makes it much more interesting to look at, I guess, than
Yeah.
just looking at a big square room.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I need to mention the carpet a little bit. For two reasons, mainly.
Okay.
One reason being the obvious choice would have been to just use the green Alinor carpet because it's longer and bigger.
Mm.
And I did, in fact, use that. But one of my guildmates decided it was a good idea to set it on fire. So we had to get a new carpet. And
No.
this one is actually a two-piece. It's the Imperial carpet, verdant Dibella, turned upside down.
Ah. So it's
And
the
it's...
bottom of the carpet.
yes. And there are two of them. And thanks to essential housing tools, if you just tilt them ever so slightly towards each other, they merge pretty much seamlessly in the middle. And
Yeah, that is so cool. I never would have guessed that you'd done that.
it's one of my favorite things to do with carpets, honestly. You can get so many different shapes of carpets. Like if you want long runners, the game doesn't
Mm.
really provide all that many of them. But if you just mix and match a little bit, you can work wonders.
That is such a good tip, you know this. I'm always struggling with rugs, so I might have to use that and play around with them a bit. That's amazing.
And with the precision editing, you should be able to do that without essential housing tools, I think.
Mm.
Don't take my word for it, I haven't tried it yet, but I think you should be able to.
Yeah. Very nice. I'm going to probably take a screenshot of this.
Do it. And you're welcome to come back and explore when you want. Almost whenever you want, as long as I'm not role-playing. Because people will freak out. Be like, just who's this lady? What is she wearing? Shall we enslave her?
Yeah, I don't really have many things on NAs. Wow, how long did this take you to build this place?
That is so difficult to answer. The thing is, I was actually trying to furnish a more conventional Ebonheart chateau at the same time, as a guild hall for this guild, and it just wasn't going very well. So I just decided to simultaneously start doing this. So I was sort of hopping back and forth between the two, and I got this idea like a very, very long time ago, and I sort of tried to map it out and figure out where to put the houses, and it wasn't going well, so I just abandoned it, and then I came back, and sort of it was a very long process. And I am a very slow builder. That's generally how I do things. I get an idea, I try and do it, I fail miserably, and give up for a couple of weeks, and then I come back. So it's impossible to say.
Yeah. You can tell that so much effort and time's been put into it. Though. It's just I've just been looking at this door here. That looks great. Like the way the bookcase looks like it's sort of like a small bookcase, even though it's not. I love that. That looks really cool. And this desk is just very cool.
Very glad you like it. This is probably one of my first custom design things that I made in this game. And I reuse it a couple of times. It's in my other house as well.
What, this desk?
Yeah.
It looks great though. It's so good. I like the little pin on the map. Where is that? Is that in
This is a map of Stonefalls, and it's a
okay.
pin of Cragganmore, roughly, I think, which is a dress city. And you can also see the dress banners here behind us.
Oh, yeah. That's very cool. This is just incredible. I just can't believe how amazing this house is. It's just beautiful.
I think one of my favorite things is the reaction I sometimes get, because this is obviously the upstairs area. It's a little bit more private. This is where the Lord and Lady can retire to have it easy, not be away from prying eyes a little bit if they want to. They work here at the desk. They occasionally hold meetings here between four eyes, a little bit more private. So a lot of the time, people who come here to roleplay, they don't go up here at all. So they can spend a couple of hours downstairs, and then they decide, now I'm leaving, but I just want to take a look around first. So they run up here and they're like, whoa, there's more!
Yeah, you have fit in a lot here, over 700 items. It's really incredible.
Very gratifying to have that reaction.
Like, you've used your items really well to be able to fit all of this in. And everything just looks really, really great as well. Doesn't look empty. I love the balcony too, it's very nice.
Cute. Let's see if we can do this other thing that I sometimes do.
Very cool. The views are really nice too. This house is really nice views.
Yeah, I think the balcony is probably one of the better spots to sort of get an overview of the whole location, to sort of understand the way it's built up. So you have your slave sheds down to the right, the sacred grove, and through the grove, also past the slave sheds, obviously, you have the crops themselves, the sugar canes,
Yeah.
in the main square, with, the whipping, all of that nastiness. Which is, of course, intentionally placed there because you should see it, and it's a sort of psychological warfare on the slaves. They need to know that if you screw up, that's where you're going.
Yeah. That's very cool.
The smithy and infirmary barracks thing. So yeah, I think that's all there is to see here.
Okay, it's absolutely brilliant. You've done such a great job. I love this
Nice.
house very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. I'm
You're
still saving the
welcome.
best for last, though, just saying.
Wow. I can't wait to see that. Okay.
Shall we continue?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to use my own portal here. I don't think it works for you because I
No.
think you had trouble with the HT, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I need to reinstall it for the house contest thing next week, though, because people are using it. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't done that yet.
Well, that's fine. I mean, the only EHT that I tend to use are portals because I just think it's a really neat way to connect different houses to each other so that I can,
Yeah.
you know, because the plantation is sort of the hub, and then it sort of sprawls out into a couple of other houses that I can, of course, afford to add a lot more detail to. Okay,
Yeah,
you can talk to me.
definitely. Okay, I'm trying to know. Yeah, I think the portals are a great idea. I know other people that use them as well. I think even the effects and everything can look great. Some people do really amazing things with them. I'm just terrible at using that stuff. I don't
Same,
know.
same. Oh no, we picked the wrong time of day to come to this house.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to fix this. Oh well, I'll fix it some other time.
What time of day is better for this one?
Nighttime is probably best for this one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's go here. Wow.
Apologize for the entrance.
No, no, that's okay. So that's like the basement then, where you come down from your last house.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And as you can see, for some reason, these walls don't block the light coming through the windows, which is what bugs me a little bit. I'm not sure what to do about that. I thought I blocked them all, but apparently not. Something always
Yeah.
slips through.
Oh, it's okay. It looks brilliant anyway. What is this? Is this the?
Ah, I'm glad you asked that. Yes. You'll recall that I asked about, disturbing content. I tend to base my disturbing content very much on reality, because reality is usually the best inspiration for horrible things that people do to each other.
Definitely, yeah.
And this is basically a medieval sort of torture method because, this is the dungeons. So what
Oh.
they what they would do is they would tie someone's arms behind their backs, and then they would pull the crank, which would hoist them up into the air. Which I'm sure you can imagine what that does to someone's arms. But the medieval people were generally not happy with that. If they felt like they were not causing you enough pain, they would then attach weights to your feet to increase the suffering even more.
Lovely.
Very lovely. People are awful.
They are. So this is like a dungeon, is it? A
Yeah,
dungeon.
yeah. This is where the really, really bad slaves go. And also prisoners and enemies of the house, and generally people you don't like and you want to cause pain and suffering and misery. So I would like to call it a sort of dungeon and inquisitor's office mix kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So you see the desk here again.
Yeah. That's so cool how it like links onto your last house. I love that. Such a good idea.
And the Inquisitor has also chosen to theme this to the 3 gods of the Dark Elves, the Tribunal. So you see, this room has Vivek's banners. Vivek is the warrior poet, so he gets to be here at the entrance where, it represents the Inquisitor herself. She's, the justice warrior, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you also see Vivek standing on the desk here.
That's very cool. Oh, is this what you were talking about, the maps? Having them...
Yes!
Yeah, that's brilliant. So those were the antiquity maps and you turned them?
Sorry, come again?
The antiquity maps. The ones we get from the antiquities.
Yes, that's these ones.
Yeah. They look great like that, yeah.
Did I just... This flipping through... There we go. Sorry. Just had to move something 1 pixel.
Okay.
And obviously the Inquisitor needs some food, so here's a tray of food.
Very nice.
I always get hungry when I look at that one. It looks so tasty.
Yeah, it does look good. Oh, I like the bookcase in the doorway. Very nice. Well, it's like the archway, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. I have closed off most of this house. That's true, I should probably mention that. I just see it as so self-evident these days. I barely even remember what this house looks like. Yes, I closed that off.
I love that the bookcase looks really good in there, though.
It fits fairly well. It's slightly too small, actually, but I've fixed that.
It changes the look of the bookcase a lot.
Yeah. And here, of course, we have Set's room. Sotha Seal, who is the god of knowledge, and very aptly placed in the torture chamber.
Very nice. Wow, this really is a torture chamber. It's great.
Yeah, I don't really know what else I can say about it. I got kind of sick of people who made kinky dungeons, I think. So I just decided to create one that was as nasty as possible.
Definitely, this is great. I love it. You've even got the toolbox. I love that. Oh, this is really cool.
Oh yes, and the little handily handcrafted chair that you can actually sit in.
Oh, did you make that? Oh, yeah.
There are 2 scaffolds turned on their... No, wait, it's not called a scaffold. Stockade. Stockade is the word. Yes, 2 stockades on either side. And they have to be pretty much pixel perfect, otherwise you can't activate the chair in between.
Yeah, that looks very cool. So somebody would be chained up in that chair.
Yeah.
Oh, that does look great.
Well,
You're
why don't
so
you sit down
creative.
opposite and take a screenshot?
Yes, that is a good idea. I will definitely do that.
I swear I didn't do it.
This is strange. I can't go into first person. Yeah. Maybe if I stand up first. There we go. No? I can't be in first person in the chair. I wonder why. I can still take one.
And you've got that nasty bull watching you. Which is kind of hilarious because one of my old characters who's related to the lady upstairs actually was an avid hunter, so he hunted a minotaur at one point, and so it made perfect sense to place the trophy down here.
Yeah, that does look very menacing down here too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice. cool. Talk to James there.
I'm gonna go upstairs first.
It does look like a completely different house. Especially
I actually added some ambient lighting sort of all over the place so that it would look sort of yuckier.
I see, like the greenish at the bottom.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that looks really great. What did you use for that?
Coda flowers, I think. Which is, yes, one of the Lux vendor things. It creates a fairly soft but icky green light.
Yeah, that looks very cool. It almost looks kind of like it's rotting down there.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, it's one of the funny things because obviously I wanted the walls to match the plantation up above, but these walls have a very sort of warm hue to them. They don't look particularly scary, which is why I felt that you particularly needed that. Yes. And again, blocking off the other room.
This fireplace looks brilliant though. The regular pit at the statue base at the top.
Yes. And the back wall is the Halalu sidewalk.
That looks very nice.
And over there we have a fairly generic bedroom, which is where the Inquisitor lives.
Very nice.
And again, on the theme of perverting religion for your own terrible things, we have an altar to the tribunal, which is, again, a fairly sort of interesting thing, because if you play Morrowind, you will see that the tribunal temple actually does a whole lot of good. But at the same time, they persecute heretics and do a whole lot of terrible, evil things as well. So it's very realistic and makes for great stories, which is why I love it so much.
I've sadly not played Morrowind. I do have it. I played Oblivion and Skyrim, but not Morrowind.
It's a bit of a learning curve. It's very unforgiving, no quest markers, and
Really?
yeah, but it's so worth it. You should definitely play it. One of my
Yeah,
favorite games of all times.
I will try. I bought it on disc, and my computer doesn't have a disc drive, so I'll have to try and find it on.
Oh no!
Just try and find it online somewhere, I suppose.
They actually gave it away for free with the anniversary. It's a shame you missed it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Oh, here's a neat thing. Let's see if I can. Ah, no, damn it!
Are you trying to stand on the cage?
Oh, I am doing one better.
Oh! That is very cool.
The thing is, these common cage hunting is what this thing is called, and it actually doesn't have collision on this. And I took full advantage of this and just flipped it, and that way you can jump in at the top.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I guess Zos sort of figured that because the cage is supposed to be placed like this, there's no point having collision because no player is short enough to get in anyway.
Yeah.
But they underestimated me. I really hope they don't fix it now. That would be a great shame.
I'm sure they won't. It's not like game breaking, is it?
No, not at all.
I always know that I love a house when I walk over to an urn and try to loot it. Like you feel like you're part of the game.
Yeah.
Very great.
But we still have the downstairs to go.
Oh yes, the basement.
Yeah. This is where we keep the banners of Almalexia, the Mother of Mercy, because, oh dear, if you come down here, you will need it.
You've got more of those whipping stations over there.
Yep. Accompanied by a big, big banner of Almalexia.
So this is the jail.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you
I
cannot
love
believe
the
how happy I was that these gates actually came out. They actually came
I
out
can
between me agreeing to do this and actually doing it.
Oh, that's great. They do. They look great. They fit there perfectly, don't they? Like
They do.
absolutely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't open perfectly because there are two of them. But, you know, I can live with that.
Yeah, they look great. Oh, so you've turned them upside down and put one. I see what you've done. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, bye-bye.
They look amazing. I didn't realise it was two when I first saw them. Because yeah, they're quite small, aren't they, those gates?
They are, yes. Yeah, I was so happy when they came in because I spent way too much time trying to fit the elsewhere gates here, and they just no, no,
You're so
did not.
creative, like to think to yourself, I'm gonna put one underneath like that. It's great. Like you have so many creative ideas in your houses. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, as I said, I saved the best for last. Are you ready?
Yes, I can't wait to see.
So I guess the background to this particular house is I purchased the colossal Aldmeri Grotto,
Ah,
and when I tried to furnish the ship, it just didn't go the way I wanted to. I just couldn't get it to work, and I got so frustrated. And this current iteration of the Cidic Villa is the result of my frustration. Please go ahead and port.
okay, on my way. Wow, that sounds intriguing. I can't wait to see what you've done.
I think it's sort of a depressive thing at the same time that most of my most creative ideas come from me being annoyed at something.
Yeah. Well, at least like I don't know. I guess if you want something in the game and you can't get it, then it's a good way to
Yeah,
get
but
what you
it's
want.
it's also it's also sadly sometimes me being annoyed with other people. You know,
Oh.
someone builds something and I just look at it and go, "Oh, I'm sure I could do better," which is not the case. It's basically like if I copy your things, it's generally not a compliment.
Wow. Oh my word. You've made a big giant boat. That's amazing. That must have taken you. How long did it take you to make the shape of this boat?
Well, let me put it this way. Last summer, I didn't get a job, and this is what I spent my summer doing.
The shape of it is just incredible. It just does just look like that boat, doesn't it? Wow.
If you like, we can watch the outside first. Let's see.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Here we go. Now I have raced the floor over here. Oh, I failed. Why did that not work? Okay, whatever. We'll just swim.
Okay. Wow, it's just like, it's very striking.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't swim straight to the point where I want to go because the slaughterfish will eat you.
Okay. Wow.
This can see the stern of the ship. Also, I apologize, I'm not actually a native English speaker, so nautical terms in English is a bit tricky. I know them all in Swedish, I promise.
Wow.
I'm just gonna
The
go ahead.
windows at the beginning, it's so pretty. I love that so much. Sorry.
Yeah, and you can also sort of, from here especially, you can see the shape of the ship, that it's sort of fat-ish further down, and then it narrows towards the top, which is actually what real ships do.
Yeah, it looks just like a real ship. It's amazing. I absolutely love these windows. And the little railing along the top. It's so cute. I love it.
We'll get a closer view.
I can't wait.
Pushing back to the entrance, because unfortunately I have not figured out a good way to get back from where you are right now.
Okay. Wow. This is just absolutely...
There we go. Here's my walkway.
That is incredible.
Oh, we can run out here. And get a good look from the front.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot. It's so pretty. Do you know how long this took you to build?
I mean, probably a month or so, just possibly more. But I mean, as I said, I'm a slow builder, and I also spend a lot of time just moving things back and forth a couple of pixels, because I am a stupid perfectionist when it comes to these things.
Even if you're a slow builder, to build this in a month is just amazing. It's so cool.
Okay. Back at the entrance again, because as said, navigation down there is
Danger?
suboptimal. Oh, that's not the most dangerous thing about this boat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can access every single point on this ship. You see the crow's nest, you can get there. Would you like to go up first, or see below deck?
Whichever you think is more appropriate. It's up to you.
Well, I tend to like covering the outside first, so let's go up there. Okay. And also because I enjoy seeing people fall. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it does feel a bit scary.
This is not approved by any sort of safety regulations. If you work here, you do not get an insurance.
The Red Guard table is a really nice choice for this.
And as you can see, there are walkways that go between all the masts to both levels of the masts.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And if you fall from here and do not hit something on the way, you will die. It's that tall.
Wow, this is a view though.
And as you can see, I've basically done my lazy best to cover up the Siddiq itself.
Yeah, but although you're parked at a port, it's fine if there's a building there, I guess.
Yeah, you can't see it when you're down there, but up here it's just I do not have the slots to spend on that thing. So it can just sit there and be an abandoned ruin or something.
I like how you've got trees growing out of it.
Yeah.
This is just incredible. I'm kind of don't really know what to say because
I'll take it.
This is incredible. Okay, this is going too scary. I'm not
Well,
good.
you're doing better than most people.
I'm
Most
not.
people fall on their first try.
Oh, do they?
Yes,
I'm not.
absolutely.
I'm not good with this like parkour walking on beam stuff, so I'm quite surprised by that.
But I suppose it's because you're actually being careful and sort of respectful of the dangers. Because most people think that they're just going to run up here all the way, and I wouldn't do that, and it's my own creation. I've tried a couple of times, and it
Yeah.
usually ends poorly.
I guess we're walking as well, which probably helps rather
Yeah.
than running at full speed.
Yeah, and if you fall on let's see, what's the word? The port side of the ship, you're okay, basically. If you fall on the starboard side, the slaughterfish will eat you.
It's just incredible. You've put like these. I love these pillows you put on the top and bottom of the sails. Just makes them look more sturdy, like they're actually sails rather than just having them there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this, again, nautical terms, not my forte here, but this sail here was definitely the most difficult one to make because it's curved. And it's not an even curve, it's curved more towards the bottom than the top.
Oh, that one.
So that
that
was difficult.
Oh my goodness! How many did you use for that one?
I can count them. 12.
How they're all like merged together and they just seem to fit together. It's incredible. That must have taken us some time to get them to all line up. Wow.
I'll just say I felt a bit bad when I watched Kalanir's video and he said he feels EHT is cheating, and I was like, well, I am a dirty, dirty cheat.
No, I don't think it's cheating. I don't like it because I don't know how to use it. I don't think it's cheating.
But it appeals to my mathematical mind in a way as well, I would say, because when I built this ship originally, because EHT works on a... Well, damn it, now I've lost a word. I'm gonna need to go and consult the dictionary. Coordinate system, that's the word. So this means that if you align the ship from north to south, it's going to have the same like X coordinate or Z coordinate, I don't remember. Anyways, it's all going to line up, so it's going to be a lot easier to line things up. And this enabled me to just build half a ship and then flip the other half and sort of fill in where things went wrong, because it's not perfect flipping it, but it definitely saved me a whole lot of work and made the whole
definitely.
ship
I agree.
a lot more symmetrical.
You'd have done the same thing anyway. It just would save a bit of time. I agree.
Yeah. Though I guess historically it's not actually accurate, because ships in history were not actually symmetrical, not perfectly symmetrical anyway, because the measurements were pretty bad. Okay, let's go into the captain's quarters. No, actually, let's take a look at the wheel. It's not all that interesting, but just to prove the point that you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you have a wheel here, and you also have a sextant, which is an amazing thing, honestly. I remember actually building this ship and taking a look at the sextant and sort of trying to understand how it works, and I failed. I got a general idea of how it works. Basically, you sort of measure the sun and put it through a couple of glasses and mirrors and bullets, and you can sort of measure the distance of the sun to the horizon very accurately. And then you consult a bunch of charts and compare things, and you can tell where you are on the big sea. And it's quite fascinating. You know, all the technology that you can almost understand, but you cannot understand how they came up with it.
Yeah. It looks really nice on its side like that. I like that. Because it's usually upright, isn't it? It's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I just figured it would probably fall over if no one's looking at it.
Yeah. It's true. Is this benches around the edge up to the top?
Yes. Yes. Or no, it's Argonian counters.
Oh, the Arcane counters.
And
They look.
this was not my idea. This was someone else who did that for their ship. But no, I steal the good ideas and get rid of the bad ones.
It looks great though. It looks like from a fence, doesn't it? These counters.
It does,
Like
yes.
that.
Oh yeah, I remember these. So when I made the masts, like I think that's the last thing I did on the structure of the ship itself.
Mm.
And then I sort of came to this part, and I was doing the rigging, and you can see the distance between this beam and this place. There's no way I was going to place one of those Argonian things over here, and I just struggled so long to figure out what to do with this. And it's an Argonian snake on a rope, and you can just barely see the snakes on the underside. I
Can
didn't
you?
quite manage to hide it, but yes.
Oh yeah, very slightly. You wouldn't notice. It looks like a little green mark on the wood or something. It's fine.
Yeah. Just now everyone knows about it. I do not conceal my flaws.
I love that. That looks really good. That's a great idea too. The Argonian snake on the rope.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've really seen people use that either. As like
Maybe,
just the rope.
yeah, maybe someday ZeniMax will give us actual just ropes.
Yeah, that would be
I
great,
would
wouldn't
use
it?
that.
Yeah, not rolled up ones on the floor, just
Yeah,
straight ones.
just ropes, different lengths of rope.
Yeah.
A lot of my inspiration for this ship was actually taken from one specific ship. I mentioned that I'm Swedish, and not sure if you've heard of the Vasa ship.
Mm,
No,
I'm not. I'm not really. I'm not really very
that's all right.
knowledgeable about the ship stuff.
Yeah. So in 1628, the ship Vasa
Yeah.
left on its maiden voyage from Stockholm, the Swedish capital, and after I think 25 minutes, it sank in
Oh
almost no
dear.
wind. It was not a very good ship. Basically, the king changed his mind halfway through building this ship and said, "No, actually, I want 2 gun decks, not just one." So the ship ended up just super tall and unsteady, and that's why it sank. But the good news is they actually managed to salvage this ship in its entirety. It's over 95% complete, original. That is now in a museum in Stockholm.
Oh,
Definitely the best museum in Stockholm. So if we ever get out of quarantine and stuff, it's worth visiting.
very nice. Definitely.
And a lot of the sort of finicky details about ships is stuff that I've learned at that museum and from that particular ship.
Yeah, that's cool. And I have to say, this room is absolutely beautiful. Like in a kind of like rugged way.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
that's the great thing about ships is you sort of have to squish everything together because you do not have a lot of space on a ship, so you need
yeah.
to place all the things in a specific place.
I just love these windows and the curtains. It's great. It really does just feel like you're on a boat. It's amazing.
Yeah, the windows were somebody else's idea, but curtains was my little addition to it.
They're great. They do make an impression. When you come in, you kind of feel like, is this where the captain is in this room?
Yeah.
Kind of feels like that, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you compare it to below deck.
It's sort of kind of fancy in here a little bit for a ship.
But he is a very generous captain, and all of the men get to dine with him.
Very nice.
So to go below deck, you can either go down here or you can go down out here.
Okay. Oh, I didn't see this little entrance before when we were walking around. That's great. This is very cool. I love how you can see at the top here.
Yeah. Yeah, the thought is when you load goods onto the ship, you will open this grate and just sort of lower them down that way.
Okay. It does. This feels like where all the poor people sleep with their washing hanging.
Yeah.
Right.
As said, that was also a direct inspiration from the Vasa ship, because the gunmen on that ship, they would not have a lot of space, and they would sleep on their posts, and when the ship was fully manned, you would not even be able to sleep everyone all at once. So you would sort of work in shifts and probably share a bed with another guy who would sleep when you got up.
Oh.
It would be really, really cramped.
Yeah. Wow.
So we can just
It's great. Yeah,
imagine
it
months
does.
of...
I think when people put that effort into like look at what things are actually like and use it for a roleplay purpose as well, it definitely makes the house just feel like realistic, doesn't it? This just feels very realistic to me.
Thank you. Yeah, you can just imagine how you'd feel after you've been at sea for several weeks, and this is all the personal space you get, and you're sharing it with one other guy.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Social distancing, not a thing.
Oh. Yeah, this is amazing.
And another thing that, again, me getting annoyed with people, you know that these orchid platforms, they don't actually have a texture on the underside.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Which means that I had to use two of them in many cases to avoid clipping, and a lot of people just don't bother doing that. They sort of just glance over it and ignore that, and it always sort of grinds my perfectionist gears. It's like, no, you cannot have clipping. You have to cover all of it.
It's really annoying to do that as well because they don't fit perfectly when you put them next to you. You have to like move them a lot, don't you? Those orchid platforms.
Well, thankfully, Essential Housing Tools makes that a whole lot easier. You can sort of use the copy-paste system and link items and sort of save the original spot, because, placing two of them on top of each other, if they're just standing on flat ground, that's no problem. So if you place two of them on flat ground, link them together, and copy the location and paste, and voila, they just snap into position perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good plan. Very good idea. Maybe we'll do that in the future. I always have trouble learning new things.
I think I've done that with some of them, not all. On occasion, it was just easier to do it manually.
I like your little kitchen here. It's very cute.
Yeah. It's a lot more modest than the one at the plantation, that's to be sure.
It's so full as well. Like all of your shelves are full.
Yep.
I have to ask, what did you use for this? It looks like that counter, but it's small.
It's the high elf bar overhanging, but it's turned upside down.
Oh, the bottom of it. Okay, yes, that makes more sense. Great.
Yeah, my habit of turning things upside down.
Yeah.
And then we have two slightly nicer-ish cabins. VIPs get their own rooms. It's in here. Right behind you. Yeah, here are some rooms.
Very
You
nice.
barely even.
They've got their statue.
Yeah, the ESO Plus thing. They're pretty nice because they're collectibles, so you can just smack them down and not trouble your item count. Because I really wanted things to look cluttered down here, and as I said, I'm fairly organized as a person, so I actually had to enlist a friend for help to clutter the down below deck a little bit here. So that was nice. So I tend to just like straight lines and
These
precision.
rooms are great. I like how you've added those. Like I would, if unless you had like hadn't told me, I wouldn't have even noticed them because they're just like so like fixed in there. That's just great.
And of course, ballistas.
Yeah.
It's sort of a fun detail actually about the anachronism of ESO, though. I suppose having magic does sort of make a difference. But did you know that gunpowder and the cannon is actually an older invention than the steering wheel?
Really?
Yes. So a
Wow.
ship from the 17th century, the early 17th century, all of the 17th century, if I recall correctly, would not have had a steering wheel.
Wow. So they just relied on the wind.
No, they would have. Hang on, I'm just going to have to. So they would have had a thing called a whipstaff. And a whipstaff is sort of it's a stick that connects directly to the rudder. So the person steering the ship would probably have been standing roughly where my character is right now, and he would have had a huge stick just coming straight up from the floor and like connected to another stick down below, which is then connected to the rudder, and he would have had to pull the stick to the sides in order to steer the ship. And obviously he can't see anything from down here at all, so he has to rely purely on other people up above deck telling him what he's actually supposed to do with this whipstaff.
That's very interesting.
For a while, I sort of considered building a whipstaff myself for this ship because time accuracy and stuff. But then I realized that, hang on, all the ships in Elder Scrolls Online already have wheels, so clearly they exist. And also, I think I would have confused my role players a bit too much. They would have had no idea what to do with this thing.
You'd have had to tell them all about it.
Yeah, and it was hard enough to get them to understand how to set sails and fire ballistas and such. That we're not a nautical guild. We don't know how to sail ships. We don't know ships. So
No.
that would have been one too many things.
Great though. This is just incredible. Honestly, you are so talented. All of your houses are just absolutely incredibly beautiful. And I love how they've all got a story to them and all of the details you have.
We have one more thing down here.
I'm just looking. This is exciting. I thought you had another level because I could see a kind of light earlier shining.
Yes. So this is how this ship connects to the other two houses. This ship is a slaver vessel.
Okay.
This is where we keep the cargo. Oh no, is there a leak? I think there's a leak. There is a leak.
Oh, this is incredible. So this is where you keep your slaves before they come to your plantation.
Yes, well, that's the idea anyway. In practice, we rarely do because as a role player, it's not very fun to sit in a cage for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can
But yeah,
imagine.
so we tend to use this more for the other players' sakes to sort of sail across the lands and pillage and plunder.
Yeah, this is so cool. Love it. I have to say, this is my favourite ship I've ever visited or seen. I'm not just saying that, it's true.
Thank you.
It's amazing, like how much thought you put into this, and how you've like looked at the history of it and everything. Incredible. Love it.
Gonna need to fix the floor though.
Is there anything else that you want to say about any of your houses or what's inspired your designs or anything like that?
I think I've covered most of it, and thank you very
Yeah,
much for having me. I hope you
yeah,
enjoyed.
absolutely. I've really enjoyed it. You've given me like loads of like information about history as well, which is really interesting and how you've done your thing. So it's been absolutely so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. As I said when I first reached out to you, I really appreciate how you do this and how you respect the creator and let the creator show their own work. And
Yeah,
it's really gratifying to actually have someone look at all the nooks and crannies and see where you're coming from. And
you're
I
very it's
I
something I
actually
really
showed
enjoy.
this. I actually showed this particular ship to a streamer at one point, and he missed the bottom level.
Oh,
It killed me.
I'm a little bit obsessive. Like when I visit people's houses, I do look at absolutely everything. So, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I just love it. It's so much fun. Especially to hear what your thoughts are on it as well is
yeah.
even better. So,
But
thank you.
I would say one final thing about this room, I think, because
Okay, yeah,
it was a huge challenge actually with the light, because the Sijic Villa is obviously a very brightly lit place,
yeah,
and then you have this, which is this gloomy, dark underbelly of a ship.
mm,
So how do you make that dark? There's really no way you can do that without EHT, and I don't like using EHT because most people won't see it.
mm,
Uh, so what I realized is you have to work with contrast. Instead of making everything dark, you make a few places light.
mm. That is
So
a great tip. Yeah.
that's why I placed this lantern here, and inside this lantern is actually a candle, which creates a light flicker, which makes it a little bit more unpleasant.
Yeah, the flicker is great. Yeah. And the
It
fact that
also,
it's red as well kind of makes it so the
yeah, it
light that's,
matches
yeah, the
it matches
light's
the light
not,
over here. And the light over here is actually what's it called? The Hualu something I can't pronounce. That little fireplace thing, which fairly uniquely actually has a cone light, sort of it's directional.
mm,
So I placed that somewhere underneath the stairs here and just aimed it upwards. And
that is cool. Because the
it
light
doesn't quite
in,
look right, but I sort of imagine that the light is coming from above and
mm,
lighting up this place here.
the natural light here is kind of bluish as well.
Yeah,
So the red makes it definitely look less
I
kind
didn't
of
even
like
think of that,
blue.
but that's another happy coincidence.
Okay, well, thank you ever so much, Spell-Slinger. It was so much fun to visit your house. It's so beautiful. And do you know
Thank
what?
you for
Like, it
having
was
me.
so funny because I've never spoken to you before or seen your houses. And I was like saying earlier to some of my friends, I'm so excited to come because I've never seen your houses before. And it was like such a, even like really big pleasant surprise because they're just incredible.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed these beautiful houses and the story and history that inspired them as much as I did. I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.